Oh! Some bad news tonight, unfortunately. I came home from work and I said, gee, you know what? I kind of feel like playing some MAG. I haven't played MAG in a couple weeks. You know, I only played a couple quick episodes when I did play the game a few weeks back because I was in a rush that night, actually, but I did want to test it out. And I said, gee, I actually have some time tonight. Let me sit down and maybe give the game some decent time. I was going to play it for maybe a 2-hour block, which incidentally is about how long my camera battery lasts. So I said, alright, so I come home and I have just about 2 hours to play too before I have to do other stuff. And here's what I find. And this is not a joke, this is not like take a look. You see what I see here? Here, I'll get down a little bit closer. Receiving updates. 2.681 fucking gigabytes of updates? Are you shitting me? Why do I have to download 2.6 gigs? You want to know why? Because for whatever reason, they're making you re-download the entire game of MAG. And as you can see, the download's pretty fucking slow. Look, it's not even a megabyte a second. It's about half a megabyte a second. And the last time that I did this, as you see, I've had this on for about 10 minutes now. It's only at 3%. The last time I downloaded MAG, it took me over 2 hours for the full game to download. So I'm going to leave this on tonight, but unfortunately, for playthrough purposes, it looks like I'm not going to get a chance to play MAG. But I was trying to think, gee, what else can I do really, really quick? So I decided to maybe just kind of walk over here and look at some of my older video games that I have on my shelf anyway. I have a lot more than this in my closet, and I just am so lazy. I don't want to unpack the bins, and really, honestly, right now, I have nowhere to put them. But I do own a couple Nintendo games. You can barely see them there, I know, but some of the good ones. Ninja Turtles, very good classic Nintendo game, even though it really had very few characters from the real Ninja Turtles cartoon or comic book. Little Nemo the Dream Master, an outstanding game. DuckTales, an amazing fucking game by Capcom. And of course, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, one of the worst fucking Nintendo games ever made. We got the broken Game Genie that barely works because the hinge came off. The hell is that under the Game Genie there? NBA Live 95, yeah, I'm sure I play that one a lot still. I got the Super Scope 6 cartridge without the Super Scope 6 because it broke a long ass time ago. Gradius 3, True Lies, no I didn't buy True Lies, don't even ask. NCAA Basketball, NBA Jam, which is a fucking classic. I loved NBA Jam so much, it was amazing. And a bunch of other shitty sports games there. And then you got NBA Jam for the Genesis. Is that Tournament Edition? No, that's the regular edition. You got a couple more sports games for the Genesis. Those honestly were not mine. Those just came with the Genesis that I bought recently. Earthworm Jim for the Sega CD, which is a very good game. It's pretty much the same as the other console versions, but the graphics are a little bit pumped up. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, which I never played because it doesn't fucking work. Pitfall the Mayan Adventure. What is Pitfall the Mayan Adventure? Did I even try to boot this fucking game? What the fuck is this? I don't remember having this game. Hold on. I do have this game. Pitfall the Mayan Adventure. I don't remember this game at all. I might have to try this. And it says hidden in the game is the original Pitfall. What the fuck? Look at that. Beware the lethal jaws of the morphing jaguar man. Yeah, I definitely never tried that one. Yeah, a lot of these games here I just got. I recently bought another Sega CD. I bought another Genesis because all of my original stuff either got lost or it just doesn't work anymore. And this was all pre-move, by the way. You know, I moved back in the summer to this condo. This was stuff I bought earlier this year, and some of it was even last year. Most of it was last year, actually. Here's Jurassic Park, which, unlike the game that you would think it is, oh, Jurassic Park was a great game. Remember the one where you ran around shooting dinosaurs? And no. That's not what that is. This is that shitty FMV game that's a worthless piece of shit. You fall asleep playing it. Doom on the 32X, which was the best version of Doom, except there was, oddly enough, no music. Let's not talk about that. Corpse Killer, which is probably one of the worst shooters ever, but it's hilarious when you play it. Just the worst fucking animations ever for the fucking zombies that come at you. It's just so laughable. 2 copies of CVS2, Capcom vs. SNK 2 for PS2. The reason is because I used to throw tournaments. I used to actually be a tournament organizer in the Street Fighter community, so it was always handy to have 2 to 3 copies. I think I actually have 4 copies of this game around. 3 copies of the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection, 1 for Xbox and 2 for PS2. The reason I have that is because This used to be the definitive version of Third Strike. Third Strike's on here, and everyone used to use this for tournaments. And also for a while, people were playing Super Street Fighter 2 Anniversary Edition in tournaments, but they no longer play that game. That was retired after the year where CE Bison butt raped everyone. And by the way, you can see videos of me butt raping everyone with CE Bison on YouTube. I put it into one of my favorites. Capcom Classics Collection 2, an unopened version, which by the way is a superb game because there's so many games in it. I think this was the one that had Captain Commando, if I'm not mistaken. Had a couple different versions of Street Fighter 2. But the reason that everyone bought this one is because this had a console version of Super Turbo adapted by David Sirlin. And everyone loved it until the year when everyone went to EVO and played it, and then people complained, why does the game feel different? And then they found out that David Sirlin, who developed this game, fucked it all up. So that one can get thrown to the fucking wolves. The only games, a lot of people ask me, what games do you have in your collection right now? Like, what do you have? These are the only games I have, I think. Yeah, I don't have any other games over there, do I? No. So what do I have in my collection? I've got Castlevania, the Dracula X Chronicles for PSP. I only own 2 games for PSP. This, and I think I owned the Final Fantasy, what the fuck is it called? Crisis Core, the one that had, it was a Final Fantasy 7 like spin-off. By the way, I don't even know where the fuck it is because it ain't here. I don't remember trading it in, but maybe I did. Time Crisis 4 because no one wants it back, even though it is a pretty good game. It's short and no one fucking wants it. Street Fighter 4 for PS3. Indiana Jones and Kung Fu Panda for 360 because it came with my Elite 360 when I bought it. I don't know what the fuck I'm ever going to do with that. I have no idea. Street Fighter 4 for 360. Halo 3 ODST, which why I haven't traded this in yet, I don't know.
I'm an idiot.
And
Borderlands.
So probably next time when I go to buy a game, I'm probably going to trade in Halo 3 and Borderlands. And, oh, and Uncharted 2. I skipped over that for some reason. I do still want to play a little bit more online Uncharted 2, but obviously I've beaten the game. There's no real reason to play the campaign again. So I might play a little bit more online, but pretty much I'm going to probably trade that game in soon. But that's it. People ask, gee, what games does Phil have? That's it. The only other games that I have... Well, actually, hold on. I lied. I do have a couple more games over here in my bedroom. Sometimes at night I can't get to sleep, so I play a couple games. I got right here. Let's get to the light. Final Fantasy IV for the DS, and also Chrono Trigger for the DS. 2 of the greatest fucking role-playing games ever made. And I never even beat Final Fantasy IV, the DS version. I've beaten this game probably 700 times on the SNES and also the ROMs online, because once I found out that the SNES version was a dumbed-down version of the game, I got pissed off. I went online and I downloaded the Japanese ROM and beat the Japanese game many times as well, the harder version. I've also owned this game on the Game Boy Advance, beat that new edition on that system, so now I gotta beat it on this. I haven't played it in a while. Chrono Trigger on the DS, in my opinion, the best version of the game ever, simply because it has a couple new endings, it has a couple new dungeons and secret items and things. Pretty fucking cool that they did that, because this is one of the best role-playing games, one of my favorite, kind of, I'd say definitely a contender for one of my favorite role-playing games. It might even be my favorite role-playing game of all time because it was so original. Why this game never had a legitimate sequel, I'll never fucking understand, because Chrono Cross was not a fucking sequel to this game, I'm sorry. Chrono Trigger needs to be remade for a next-gen system with better graphics, and they should definitely do a sequel, a full-on sequel, which would be fucking amazing. And there's my DS sitting there next to my bed, so when I can't fucking sleep, I just play it for a couple minutes, couple hours, depending on what kind of a mood I'm in. But that's it. You know, a lot of people have asked me, gee, Phil, what games do you got and shit? I do, in my closet, which you can't fucking see, in my closet I do a bunch of bins, and one of these bins there's a shitload of games, some older games and things that I bought when I told you I bought another Sega CD, and another Genesis, and another working SNES, because all my stuff was long gone, either destroyed or lost and moved. Oh yeah, and a lot of people really don't believe me when I say I don't use strategy guides. These are the only strategy guides I own, and they're all from games like Ancient. You've got Gears of War 2, I used that because I wanted to try to get into the online play. I still fucking hate it though, so I hated it. Grand Theft Auto 4, obviously if you're a completionist, you want to get a strategy guide. I thought that Grand Theft Auto 4 was one of the best games in 2008. In fact, it was my vote for best game of 2008. So that strategy guide came in helpful. Saints Row 2, I didn't need this strategy guide. This was a waste of money. Resistance 2 was also a waste of money. Fable 2 is a game where you probably want a strategy guide simply because you want to do everything. And Little Big Planet, this fucking thing, I might as well just like go wipe my ass with it, because the game was so fucking short and not good as a platformer. I didn't need the fucking strategy guide. Dead Space strategy guide. I don't know why I bothered buying that. That was pretty stupid. Far Cry 2 I thought I was going to need, and then I ended up barely using it in the game. And then, oh, what's this? Final Fantasy 3. Well, no, it's not really Final Fantasy 3. It's Final Fantasy 6, but remember when it was released in the US, we called it Final Fantasy 3. This is the original strategy guide for that game. You can't fucking find this anywhere, man. This thing is so rare, and this was written by some dude, Peter Olafson. He put like jokes in it and everything. You don't see strategy guides like this anymore. This is one of the classics, and I still have it in my collection simply because I thought it was one of the best guides ever made. So yeah, I've got these fucking shitty ass strategy guides. Hey, maybe one day I'll give them out as prizes or something. I don't know. I don't fucking need them, that's for sure. And I barely used them when I played the games. But besides that, any game that I play today, I play by myself. I don't fucking look online for cheats unless I actually run into a dead end, which I think I've only done like twice in the past year. I just do it, you know, from the hip, and that's really my style. That's why I'm doing live commentary, live gameplay. That's what I like to do. So here, before I sign off, because I'm about to run out of time here on my YouTube, look, 16%, and it's been, what, 10 minutes? So you figure 8% per 10 minutes, another, you know, gee, another hour and a half, this should be done, maybe? Who knows? So, unfortunately, no game videos tonight, but hopefully at least I gave you something to watch.
Baby, do that, baby,